Subsidized housing is only for people, or it's meant for people that are on the verge of something bad or whatever. It's for people that are in put by a predicament that wasn't their own or whatever, but that was placed on them by their ancestry or whatever due to a disability or something of that nature, or even single moms or whatever. But it's not somewhere where you just Airbnb and come in and out and think you're going to switcheroony people that this is what they rely on for their medical conditions. Because I have real medical conditions in Canada. And I don't mean to sound to overzealous in my conditions, but these are people that want me to continue to talk about my conditions here in Canada or my health conditions in general. I could be anywhere, but I reside here in Canada. This is where I was born, and I know all the laws of in Canada. And the only other places I've been is the United States and the Bahamas, and that was years and years ago, not any time with the COVID-19 or whatever. And I'm not jealous of anybody that has or whatever because I've experienced pretty much everything they have as well, but just a little bit prior to that. Basically, I've been assigned this unit or whatever, and my mom also stays here and stuff like that. But it does say on the lease that she can have a certain amount of assets, which she's well under, as her personal assets or whatever. She works as an accountant now. She used to be a nurse. And what is it called? I was put on ODSP because I have an extremely bad health. It's unbelievable the amount of extremely bad health conditions that have been put upon me genetically. To a mental, my mental is very good, but my physical is very bad, and then my physical, because of its, believe it or not, I do perform well or whatever, but I don't perform. I'm a little bit slower than some individuals, but I have certain pros and cons. So I'm not a person that's like completely like banished from life or whatever. You know what I mean? But I still do have a purpose in life when it comes to certain things. But I just can't do certain tasks that require certain I guess staminas and things like that, or things of the other nature and stuff. And I have some other things I got to take care of, some personal issues as well. When it comes to the finances too, it's not just a disability thing; it's also a financial thing. One thing this unit has for me is the climate control, where you can have its central heating and cooling or whatever. So when it's too hot or whatever, um, uh, when it's too hot or whatever, I can like outside. Um, as we've seen in the past couple of years, summers, believe it or not, get extremely hot here in Canada. Canada, just as hot as anywhere else. Well, I mean, I guess it gets hotter at other places like Las Vegas or whatever, where they cook the cookies on the uh, 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 car under the car window or whatever. So it gets pretty hot, and I can't survive in that condition. If you go look up on Instagram, I got some pretty horrible atrocity style photos. I guess it's not atrocity because that's a little bit demeaning of my character, as well as what is it called? A little bit discriminatory and a little bit derogatory. But you can go check them out or wherever. You can see some of the horrible pictures of some of my disabilities or whatever. And I have like cancer of my inside my stomach of some sort. And it's a huge process to go through all the testings and things. And then there's a range of different programs and like fitness and things to get myself back in shape or whatever, as well as, and it's not like back in shape because I've never really been in shape or whatever, if you want to consider it that or whatever, being in shape or whatever. What is it called? But I am of my own shape or whatever, and I'm actually pretty athletic for my shape or whatever. And like I went with that whole gorilla thing for a while, but I'm kind of off of that or whatever. And I kind of got into that orange orangutan or whatever, but I'm kind of off of the animal thing again or whatever. But I am the Jesus thing or whatever. I'm kind of off Jesus, but I do always love Jesus, and I always talk to Jesus, and every day I talk to Jesus, and He's in everything or whatever. So He's right there or whatever. So I don't know why I would say that, but what is it called? This unit is specifically assigned to me because in those harsh conditions, I hit what is it called? Unhumane death levels or whatever, to where I almost die. Like pretty much, I will die if I'm not in a climate controlled environment. Like this here with the certain amenities like the large toilet and the as well as the bathtub with the railings and things like that. I do need those. And I don't need the railings for certain things, but I do need the railings for getting in and out of the bathtub for sure. And I also have the conditions like with my heart and everything where I do need the hot baths and things, especially with the stress of the disabilities when it comes to the public's regard of harassment and things. I get harassed about my disabilities on a constant basis when it comes to all different people. So that's a huge amount of stress that needs to be paid for by the government of Canada or whatever. And what is it called? So I get paid for all the stress that's being induced upon me and all the fake legalities or whatever that people have tried to do against me or whatever because of jealousy or whatever. And it's one thing I wish people would get over. They have to become productive or whatever. And don't look at me like, even though I look like I'm young, I'm actually quite old. I'm 27. I'm getting quite old. Like I'm almost 30. A couple more years and I'll be 30. So and then I'll hear this like some people will say like, buddy, go get a job or whatever. But I've already had a job or whatever, and I worked, believe it or not, or whatever. I don't want to say believe it or not because you probably do already believe it or whatever. Uh, what is it called? But I worked for many years, internet marketing, as many people know or whatever. They probably already know, and all different things or whatever. You've probably seen some stuff, but no, basically, like I'm kind of like being decommissioned or whatever, and I'm no longer kind of like I have now that support of the government of support or whatever because of my ancestry or whatever. If you look at the direct lineage of me or whatever, um, what is it called? I'm related to like certain folks or whatever that happen to be a majority or whatever, and then they pay taxes or whatever, and then that's basically my allowance or whatever from the family of the richest of the richest. So they don't have to give me much more or whatever. But at the same thing, at the same while we're there still, I mean, they got to understand also I have to have certain budgets and capabilities. Like I've been expected to do projects for people that have much larger budgets than they're giving me, and then it's upset these people. They're like going crazy, like they're gonna kill me. But it's the people that haven't increased my budget, and that's one thing I want to talk about. Is like I have a living body inside my body, which counts for two bodies, and there's possibly more, and I'm way larger than any individual in Canada. I don't think I've met any larger of an individual in Canada except one woman, two or three women. Okay, I haven't met any other people that are as large as me really in Canada. So I have to get the extra benefit, and I've been benefits, and even though I've been audited or whatever, I'm still getting frauded for my benefits. I'm being frauded for my ODSP benefits by a lot of people, including possibly people that are government affiliated. I'm supposed to be receiving my special diet for my diabetes as well as my other conditions, which I haven't. And I would cry. Usually I cry a lot about this, but I try to contain myself when it comes to the videos or whatever on the webcam or whatever. But what is it called? I'm supposed to get extra money for my diet or whatever. I have certain conditions. I need the money for the diet or whatever because of specific reasons that you complain about all the time or whatever is the reason why I need the extra benefits on the food. And then it just sickens everybody that there's people that are getting away with fraud of ODSP that don't even actually need it or whatever. And I'm actually suffering from real conditions. Okay. And that's one thing that's been going on in Canada. There's people that don't even deserve to be on ODSP that have ODSP that are frauding it, that have literally laughed at me and all that, and trying to get my ODSP cut off and all that. when I have real conditions to a death level and they don't. And they're going around strip clubbing and casinoing and all this. And I don't do that. And they ain't smoking crack cocaine. They're doing all types of stuff. I don't do that at all. Okay, I don't even really drink that much. I don't smoke marijuana that much either prior to your belief. Okay? And that's unbelievable.